I'm Christopher Earl Strunk. Today's President's Day, 20th of February 2017. I am interested in just bringing my clients up to date on my efforts for their use of the banking system the way it was devised, and to reassure them that that I believe Mr. Trump is not part of the collective, and he's certainly up against 5 branches of evil, which are part of what Eisenhower referred to as the military-industrial complex, and that and certainly he knew about it because he helped develop it, but that Mr. Trump is quite a unique individual who who put that on display on Friday the 17th in that hour-plus press conference where he took on the branches of this military-industrial complex, being the media, Hollywood, portions of the intelligence community, the Congress, and certainly banking. And now those five branches have been pigging out, according to Catherine Austin Phipps in her interview with Greg Hunter, up on the carried on this website on the upper left-hand corner of the website. She describes them as the piggies, the pigging out crowd, and that's who Trump is up against. You know, the pure greed and the habitual greed, which has been brought about through continuous war. And I compare them to the Trotskyites, which Trotsky was murdered in Mexico, and because he was continuing his operation coordination with Wall Street. You know, he lived here in Brooklyn. I'm down in Brooklyn now. I'm now resituated above Albany, but I'm here specifically to pick up the court papers from Richmond County Supreme Court on a case involving ID New York City, where de Blasio, a Trotsky hanger-on, was involved in trying to pump up the city's budget using illegal aliens vetted and put in housing in order to change the vacancy rate so that they could get HUD funding, etc. The city, like the state of New York and California, have been involved in destroying the middle class, and that everybody's leaving California. People just since 2005 have fled from New York, and I've been even forced out of New York because you can't afford to live here, and that the government subsidies for the colonists, the illegal aliens that have been brought in, are just, it's untenable, and it's got to be changed, and Mr. Trump knows it. I believe that the reason that Mr. Flynn was forced out was that it became known through his son, who was part of the campaign, that the linchpin, the weak flank of the 5 branches of this hydra is pederasty, and that in the same way as Pope Benedict was forced out, that you know, he being the head of the doctrine of the faith, Ratzinger, he was recalcitrant and refusing to implement the final solution in terms of the handing over of Jerusalem and disbanding the Israeli state, as all of the other states have been disbanded, except with the exception of Syria and Jordan. I believe that the Flynn firing had much to do with the disclosure of the underlying strategy to go after and flank all of Trump's enemies based upon their continued moral turpitude and their vulnerabilities. We'll hear more about that, but that in the meantime, I just wanted to let you know that I am supporting Mr. Trump. I believe he like Mr. Putin, are nationalists. They're interested in developing their own population's middle class, and are willing to defend the nation state against a colonization which has been going on since the end of World War II. So I'll report to you next month around the time of the court appearance in my my challenge to California and New York up in Syracuse on sanctuary cities. I seem to be the only one doing that, and I enjoy doing that challenge, so I do it just because I enjoy it. But as for my clients, I still intend that you be able to use the banking system the way it was designed. We continue under the emergency banking system with the Trading with the Enemy Act brought inland, and that soon, and I say soon, I will announce the solution. It'll probably be in the middle of March or the end of March, and I hope you all are well, and I will continue in contact with you as always. Thank you very much for your time.